Good morning, kids. I loved seeing all of your coloring sheets. I worked with the judges, Jimmy and Mr. Alfred, and we saw things that we liked in each one. Mr. Alfred wanted to pick one winner, but Jimmy wanted to give each one of you who submitted a coloring sheet a prize. So here is our winner of the coloring contest. The rest of you who entered will also get a prize, thanks to Jimmy's generosity and love for cookies. I also want to remind you that our next Zoom meeting is happening on March 10th, just 10 days away. I hope to see many of you there to learn, have some fun, and maybe even win a prize. This week, we are going to be learning that we are God's servants and what that means for us in our lives. We will see how Jesus served and how he modeled that for us. How many of you are just so excited to clean the house for your parents or take out the garbage? I know that when I was a kid, I sure wasn't wanting to do those things. Even for adults, it can be hard to choose to serve those around us. But let's take a look and see how Jesus showed us how to serve. Our story today comes from the Gospel of John, which is the fourth book in the New Testament. We will be looking at chapter 13, verses 1 to 18 today. Let's go see some of my friends act this story for us. Our story starts off with Jesus eating a meal with his disciples. This meal was called the Passover Feast, or the Last Supper. During the meal, Jesus got up from the table and wrapped a towel around him. He began to wash the disciples' feet and dry them with the towel that was wrapped around him. When Jesus began to wash Simon Peter's feet, Simon Peter said, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus said to him, "You do not realize now what I am doing, but later you will understand." Simon Peter, not thinking Jesus should wash his feet, said, "No, you shall never wash my feet." Jesus then told him that he needed to let him serve him and let him wash his feet. Otherwise, he wouldn't be one of the disciples. After Jesus was finished washing the disciples' feet, he asked them if they knew why he did it, and then he explained it for them. Jesus said to them, "Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also should wash one another's feet. I have set you an example that you should do as I have done for you." Thanks, friends. The story then continues with the Last Supper. But today we will stop here because we are learning that we are God's servants. In this story, we see how Jesus came to serve. Jesus came and cleaned the disciples' feet. Since they were wearing sandals, their feet would have been very dirty from walking around all day. Normally, it was servants who washed people's feet, which is why Simon Peter didn't want Jesus to wash his feet. But Jesus came to this earth to serve. There's a really cool verse where Jesus is talking about serving, and he says this, "For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." The Son of Man is Jesus. Jesus didn't come to have people serve him, he came to serve others. Jesus, the one who is so powerful and awesome, came to the earth to serve. Not only does Jesus do it, he tells his disciples to serve people too, because of his example. Let's go see how Jimmy and Mr. Alfred are doing today and if they made it back safely from their missions trip. Jimmy, we made it back from Burundi. We are back home.
Wait, what? Oh, that was a short flight.
It wasn't that short. You just slept the whole time.
Oh. Thanks for taking me with you on that trip, Mr. Alfred. I had so much fun, and I definitely learned a lot.
That's great. I am glad you were able to come.
I really enjoyed serving the people there. It was nice to be able to help them with all the things they do every day.
That's fantastic. Maybe you can get involved in serving more at home. Just because we are home now doesn't mean that we can't show people around us that we love them.
Mike, I guess you're right. I just never have before. But it was fun. Doesn't the Bible say something about serving?
Yeah, it does. A lot. My favorite is when Jesus washed the disciples' feet and then told the disciples that they should also serve others.
Ew! Blech. I don't want to wash someone else's feet. I barely wash my own.
I'll have to have a chat with your mother.
No, Mr. Alfred, please, no, don't do that.
Anyways, Jesus wants us to serve those around us. Jesus himself came to serve. Even though he is God, he didn't think that he was too good for any job. Jesus loved others by serving them, and he did that as an example for us.
Wow. Maybe I should be more willing to serve those around me, even here at home, and not just in Burundi. Maybe I'll bring some friends at school some cookies.
Cookies, cookies,
Hey,
cookies.
You stole my line, Mr. Alfred.
Cookies, cookies, cookies. Thanks, Jimmy and Mr. Alfred. I am so glad Jimmy is learning about servanthood, and I hope that you are too. Because Jesus served and told us to follow his example, we should obey him. Jimmy and Mr. Alfred were able to serve in Burundi, but there are also so many ways to serve those around us right here where we are. Serving means that we want to do practical things to help people and love them. When we serve like Jesus did, we shouldn't think that we are too good to do any job. We should be willing to do the gross work, just how Jesus washed the disciples' feet. There are lots of people who serve here at church. Maybe your parents even serve here. If not, there are lots of ways for them to get involved here. But there are many ways you can serve too. Maybe you could serve others by cleaning up your brother's toys if they didn't clean them up. You could help your parents with doing dishes, or even learn to fold laundry. Lots of these things we don't think are fun, but it is really exciting that we can show people that we love them by doing things for them. Maybe this week, you should clean the dishes from the table without even being asked. Just like last week, we talked about how we love because Jesus loved. We serve others because Jesus did. We serve others to show them Jesus' ultimate act of servanthood by coming to this earth, living as an ordinary man, and then dying on the cross for our sin. Because Jesus showed his love for us in serving us, we serve those around us to show them the love of Jesus. I hope that this week you can remember that we are God's servants. Have a great week. Bye.